CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with a massive corruption scandal in the Toronto police force. 7 officers have been arrested, facing a slew of charges, including conspiracy to commit murder, extortion, and drug trafficking. There's also a London connection, which we'll have more on shortly. First, here's John Musselman on the allegations of organized crime connections.
Cars in front of them just wandering down the middle of the road. Cars coming up behind.
This is police video of just one incident that highlights the devastating allegations filed against 7 Toronto police officers and 1 retired officer.
Over the grass into a car.
Investigators allege 3 masked men attempted to murder an Ontario corrections manager at his home in York Region in June. The suspects were allegedly leaked personal information by Toronto Police Constable Timothy Barnhart.
We allege that this officer then released the information to a Mr. Brian DaCosta, and from there it was released further into other criminal networks.
The allegations against the Toronto officers include bribery, obstruction of justice, drug trafficking, theft of personal property, breach of trust, and the unauthorized access of confidential information. The information was handed over to organized criminal figures. It led to shootings in the GTA and in southern Ontario. Toronto Police Chief Myron Demkew calls it a painful moment for the force, and he has asked the Inspector General of Policing to investigate.
This is a painful and unsettling moment. It needs to be addressed openly, and it needs to be addressed honestly. The allegations against 7 Toronto police members and 1 retired member are deeply disappointing.
Clayton Campbell is the president of the Toronto Police Association.
If proven true, our members do not tolerate this sort of stuff. We are so indebted to the public for trust. If we don't have public trust, we have nothing.
The allegations also include officers accepting bribes to obstruct police action against illegal activity. At least 19 other civilians have been charged in connection with this investigation. Chief Demkew says he is committed to holding the accused officers accountable, and he says the Toronto Police Services Board has not asked for his resignation, considering these findings came under his leadership. John Musselman, CTV News in York Region.
Police also indicate an incident in London from last August is part of this investigation when dozens of shots were fired into a house on Fox Ridge Crescent. They say similar shootings happened in Brampton and Vaughan. In one of the videos, a suspect is seen firing at residences and a commercial complex, which police say are connected to the towing industry. In fact, a large component to the corruption case against those officers involved the tow truck industry. With more on that angle, here's John Venevalley-Rao.
For police, not just in Toronto, but across the country, the allegations came as a huge disappointment.
We're talking a corruption level here that's it's on the edge of a blockbuster movie that would be made up to follow with The Godfather, if you will.
Some experts say it could be the biggest investigation of police corruption ever, not just in Toronto, but in Canadian history, eclipsing the 5 former Toronto drug squad officers found guilty more than a decade ago of attempting to obstruct justice, with some wondering if it points to a potentially wider culture problem within Toronto's force.
I think it may be more of a greed issue. These people were, there are charges with respect to accepting bribes. Was that the motivation behind all this? I don't know. We'll have to find out at trial.
The case may also point to a growing crisis with organized crime. It was in part connected to a tow truck turf war in Toronto that led to a slew of shootings and arsons.
The allegations that organized crime is influencing police is really, quite unprecedented in my experience.
It's been estimated more than 4,000 organized crime groups are currently operating in Canada, and some think today's announcement should serve as a wake-up call.
I think it shows that their tentacles are a lot longer than most people suspect.
Still, others say police corruption is very rare and worry the reputation of officers everywhere is being hurt.
I just hope that the public focuses on all the good and doesn't let these few bad apples ultimately destroy the image of policing in this country. We're way bigger and better than that.
Meanwhile, some are already suggesting that a public inquiry may ultimately be necessary. John Venevalley-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
London police say They'll provide an update tomorrow regarding the ongoing investigation at a home near Western University. Police say they'll provide an overview and updated information regarding what they describe as a complex and lengthy investigation. It involves 4 suspects who face a long list of charges following a trespassing arrest on Western's campus last month. That led officers to a home in University Heights where police said they found potentially explosive chemicals.
So there's a lot of criminal intent here at this point. So that's the one side what we're seeing. But what we're not seeing, in my view, at this point, from the evidence that has been shared so far, any actual political intent that would raise to potential terrorist charges or any actual planned attacks that we know of. Now, on the one hand, again, here too, we would not necessarily know this at this point because law enforcement is going to be very careful in this ongoing investigation to share too much information that would indicate potential sources and so on. So they're really just collecting as much as they can right now.
It has a lot of elements to it, and it ranges everything from possession of a 3D weapon, a loaded gun, all the way to threats to national security. So the truth is somewhere in there. It's one of those cases that it raises more questions than answers.
And we'll have live coverage of the media briefing tomorrow morning on our website beginning at 10 a.m. Police in St. Thomas say they've charged a suspect accused of brandishing a knife at a hospital last night. They say they were called overnight to St. Thomas Elgin General. And according to police, the suspect had been discharged but initially refused to leave the hospital. Eventually, they say they did leave and they were arrested nearby. The 36-year-old has been charged with assault and uttering threats. Reports of a person waving around a gun resulted in a heavy police presence in Tillsonburg this morning. These were images shared with CTV taken by a local resident. Heavily armed officers are seen near King and First around 6:30 a.m. Police say someone carrying a handgun was approaching people asking for money. They say they arrested a 23-year-old from Tillsonburg who now faces charges including 2 counts of armed robbery. Police say nothing was actually taken and no one was injured. The head of the Old East Village BIA is asking City Hall for more help keeping the neighborhood clean. That appeal comes as 3 local business owners announce plans to close up shop. However, as Brian Bicknell reports, despite those challenges, there are some success stories.
Yeah, it's kind of gross. Resident Josh Taylor looks around and sees desperation throughout much of London's Old East Village.
It's a fentanyl crisis. It's pretty much taken over London, downtown London. It's normalized here.
And for at least one business owner, it's the last straw. The owner of Black Mountain Design on Dundas says after just 1 year, she's leaving OEV.
People that are sitting in front of my door, they're, doing drugs. We've seen weapons in people's pockets. I've seen twice now people holding guns, whether they're real guns or not, I don't know. So there's been those kinds of issues, and I'm here by myself most of the time. So for me, it's very scary.
The head of the local BIA says he's learned of 2 more businesses picking up stakes. Now Kevin Morrison is sending out an SOS to City Hall.
We don't need money. What we need is our streets cleared, clean, safe, and that way we increase the foot traffic. We don't need the money. We just need you to fix the damn problem.
As it happens, the BIA is also asking City Hall for more than $14,000 reimbursement for keeping properties of local nonprofits cleaned in the last 8 months of 2025. The work includes garbage removal, needle disposal, cleaning biohazards, and graffiti.
And we're talking about the Banting House, the historic site with the museum. We're talking about the Palace Theatre. We're talking about Clayworks with the Learning Center. And we're talking about Aeolian Hall.
3 separate businesses packing up and leaving in a short period of time is certainly a big loss for this community. But there are still some success stories in OEV, like this popular sandwich shop. Renee's opened about 16 months ago, and owner Renee Kaplansky says so far so good.
This is an amazing district. We have the Kellogg's, which is just down the street, the Hard Rock Hotel. We have the Western Fair District. It's a mix between young families, people all around. We just like this area.
Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
Provincial health numbers show Midwestern Ontario leading the way in opioid harm reduction. Scott Miller has more on the latest data and what's behind the region's success.
Fewer people are overdosing and dying from drug overdoses in Grey Bruce than last year. A lot fewer.
I was surprised at the level of drop, the significance, the size of the drop. I knew we were doing good work.
The number of opioid overdoses in Grey Bruce fell 61% last year, from 215 in 2024 to just 83 last year. Opioid-related deaths fell 77%. Now, Grey County led the way, with overdoses falling from 184 in 2024 to just 72 last year. Bruce County saw overdoses drop from 32 to 11. It's a precipitous drop caused by many factors, believes Dobbin. First, a recognition that Grey Bruce had a problem, and then quick action and collaboration across agencies to directly tackle the problem on the ground.
There's been a huge effort to make sure naloxone is available without too many barriers to that harm reduction supplies are there, that drug testing is happening so people understand what they're taking and what the impact is. Lots of conversations about use less, go slow, don't use alone.
Dobbins says Grey Bruce's SOS program, or Supportive Outreach Services, was a big first step. But the big change happened in 2024 when the Bright Shores Wellness and Recovery Center opened in Owen Sound.
When somebody is ready to have that conversation and says, okay, I don't want to do this anymore, that we can go, okay, in, maybe an hour, we can get you somewhere versus here's a 6-month wait list.
Dobbins says Grey Bruce's opioid strategy isn't cheap, costing multiple millions of dollars, but it is working, and it is being pursued as an option by other communities across the province. In Grey Bruce, Scott Miller, CTV News.
London has lost one of the city's most respected names in broadcasting. Pete James's career spanned decades in local sports, known for his work in television, radio, and his London Knights coverage. With a look back, here's Sean Irvin.
He covered sports in this area for over 50 years. And in a different era of television, Pete James was larger than life. His friend and colleague, our own Nick Paparella, remembers.
Anywhere you went in London and across southwestern Ontario, you knew who Pete James was.
Pete led the CFPL TV sports team for 25 years, serving as the 6 p.m. sports anchor for the flagship FYI broadcast. He worked alongside many notable names, including his friend John Davidson. He also recruited a young student to join the team to cover high school sports, Bevan Palmatier.
He basically treated me as one of the guys as a 16-year-old kid.
Pete expected his team to be knowledgeable in all areas of sports, and they knew they could not outsmart him.
You could not stump Pete.
While Pete was known to a generation of Londoners for his time at CFPL TV and FYI, he was also known for his prior and subsequent work on the radio airwaves. Steve Garrison worked with Pete for over a decade on CJBK Radio. It was Garrison who dubbed him the godfather of sports, a name that stuck.
He reinvented himself, and he certainly enjoyed every minute of doing radio.
While he had covered London Tigers baseball and Mustangs football on television, Pete jumped at the chance to join the London Knights radio play-by-play crew. It came as the Knights began their resurgence. His broadcast partner, Mike Stubbs, recalls Pete's raw emotion the moment the Knights topped the OHL regular season standings in 2004.
And to look over and see his face and see the pride and see just that look of it's finally happened.
A moment witnessed again the following year when the Knights won the Memorial Cup.
I was so happy for him more than anyone else.
Many members of the 05 team and many former Knights consider Pete family.
There are NHL stars, there are AHL stars. He was somebody that you knew.
It was that affection that led the Knights to honor Pete with a banner inside their home in 2011. He was overwhelmed.
I couldn't have scripted it better, but the honoring tonight is just, well, beyond belief, really.
It was far from Pete's only honor.
He could have gone on to Toronto, Montreal, or anywhere. But you know what? Pete chose to stay here, remain in London, because this was the community that he truly loved.
It gave me what I wanted in sports coverage. Well, it was always something to do. So why leave? I always looked at not what I'm getting into, what I'm leaving.
If you ask anybody in London and the surrounding area who the most recognizable face is in sports, it is still Pete James. It will always be Pete James.
In London, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
Still to come, who got the call to St. Mary's? We break down this year's induction class to the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame. Canada's main stock index plunged more than 500 points today. In Toronto, the TSX fell 577. In New York, the Dow lost 593. The Nasdaq dropped 364. The Canadian dollar down a modest 0.04 of a cent. On commodity markets, gold lost $61 an ounce. Oil down $1.85 a barrel. The Prime Minister announced a new national auto strategy today, which includes an end to the electric vehicle mandate while bringing back EV rebates. With more, here's Rachel Aiello.
A national auto strategy for the next generation. Today, the government unveiled a 5-pillar and multi-billion-dollar plan to protect jobs and reward companies making vehicles in Canada.
The future of the auto industry is increasingly electric and connected. And so to remain competitive and to realize our potential, we must develop the entire value chain for next generation vehicles.
To help Canadians afford them, starting February 16th, consumers who purchase electric vehicles will be eligible for a new rebate. The government is offering purchase or lease incentives of up to $5,000 for fully electric vehicles and up to $2,500 for plug-in hybrid models. There will be no price cap on Canadian-made cars, and only models coming from countries Canada has a free trade deal with will qualify if they cost less than $50,000. That means the rebate won't apply to Chinese EVs.
Today's announcement will directly support workers here in Ontario and across Canada.
Carney is also replacing the contentious EV sales mandate with new emission standards for future models, easing some of the pressure automakers are under.
This puts us on a path to greater electrification while giving industry the flexibility it needs during a very difficult time for the economy and for the sector.
Hopefully we can get to a point where we continue to be tariff-free.
And car dealers say they're ready to stock up.
It's certainly encouraging that we'll be able to pass on some savings directly to the consumer, especially in a time of higher prices on really everything.
Beyond affordability, this country's lacking EV infrastructure remains a barrier to Canadians pulling the plug on gas-powered vehicles. And so today, Carney also promised $1.5 billion to build up this country's roadside charging network. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
Good evening. We have some snow moving into the area overnight as a clipper system drops in for your Friday. Accumulating snow expected through the day. Heading out the door tomorrow morning, light snowfall. Thanks, Carol, for this photo of Chase perched up there on a big snowy little mountain, I think, in the front yard. Winds out of the south as we head through the early part of the day, but shifting northwest in the afternoon. Strong gusty winds and a blast of bitterly cold air moving in Friday night. Your local weather details are coming up right after this.
Welcome back with Julia on the desk now, looking ahead to a pretty cold weekend with some snow as well. I know just the other side of it, as we were talking about last night, there are milder temperatures on the way, but it is going to be a rough weekend, it sounds like.
Heading into next week, I mean, could balmy at 2 degrees.
By comparison, yeah.
I mean, people will be wearing shorts at this point.
Some will, yeah.
This weekend, it's going to be frigid. Overnight lows dropping down between -18 and -22 with wind chills this weekend. Carlyle, -30. That's frigid. -7 our high today, -11 our low. So is our high temperature that was below normal. Overnight, we're going to drop down to about -10. It'll feel like -15 through the overnight. Tracking our next clipper system, it's still well off to the northwest, but it's going to make some tracks overnight. We've had a little bit of light snowfall in advance of it, and we'll have some light snowfall develop through the overnight. So flurries in the forecast. And heading into tomorrow morning, now this clipper system will bring a burst of snow through the morning and then a bit of a lull in the action until about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's when the cold front will come in. And with that front, we'll see another burst of snowfall. In total, London, about 5 centimeters. North of London, about 5 to 10 centimeters. So generally across the area, we will get the snow. And as you head home for the day, just be prepared As you can see, expecting that burst of snow to move through. Now, the winds shift to the northwest and behind this. This ushers in that bitterly cold, frigid air mass. What we'll be watching as we head into Friday night, early Saturday morning, will be one snow squall that will develop downwind of Lake Huron. This one affecting Huron County and Middlesex County. Now, this means that it will roll into London with flurries and blowing snow and the potential for some accumulating snow heading into Friday night, early Saturday morning. That snow squall will oscillate its way eastward into the county, so it could brush by Oxford County as we head into Saturday morning. The rest of the weekend looks calmer. We have a mix of sun and cloud, although if you are going to be out and about this weekend, bundle up. It's going to be cold. Temperature tomorrow afternoon, not too bad at -3, but getting to -3, and then the crash comes when the cold front comes through. That northwest wind will pull in that very cold air, and we're down to about -18 as we head into Saturday morning. Now, wind chills, as I mentioned, approaching that -25 to -30 mark, and that will be right through the weekend. On Sunday, a mix of sun and cloud and -10, -7 on Monday into Tuesday. Look at that, 2 degrees, 1 degree as we head into Wednesday with a 40% chance of some light precipitation. With temperatures hovering close to the freezing mark, we could see a bit of mixing at the freezing mark on Thursday with a 60% chance of flurries. Main thing with this forecast is the clipper comes in with snow as we head into your overnight and your Friday. Blast of cold air comes in, gusty northwest winds Friday night, which will lead to blowing snow and bitterly cold temperatures. The weekend will be cold, but we have some sunshine as we head into Saturday and Sunday. Flurries expected in Huron County on Saturday. The rest of Midwestern Ontario, you should see a nice mix of sun and cloud, but bundle up. It's going to be a cold weekend. We're almost there. We're almost through it. Next week, temperatures recover quite nicely. Carlyle, back to you.
Thanks very much, Julie. New numbers out of Chatham-Kent show the community growing faster than it has in more than 2 decades. With more on what's behind the population surge and whether the region can actually handle that growth, here's Chris Campbell.
For years, Chatham-Kent was losing people, the population declining.
About 6 years ago, that trend changed.
New data shows from 2001 to 2015, the municipality's population dropped 6.6%, a loss of more than 7,300 residents. But since 2016, that decline has turned into steady growth, now back up 8.1%, or more than 8,400 people.
We put a lot of work in across the municipality to do a lot of things in arts, culture, recreation, but just the affordability here.
As of July 1st last year, Chatham-Kent's population reached 113,070, a 1.23% jump in just 1 year, the fastest annual increase on record. Mayor Darren Caniff says much of that growth is being driven by people relocating from other parts of Ontario, especially young families. More than a quarter of new arrivals are children under 15.
That indicates that we got a lot of families moving to our community, which, as most of us would typically recognise, Chatham-Kent is a great place to raise a family.
The growth is also outpacing the region. Chatham-Kent's 1.23% increase beat the Ontario average of 0.7 and topped Windsor, London and Sarnia.
From my side, right, like I relocated here because of the work, one thing, but what I found here is actually like not spending 4 hours in traffic in other, like, because I relocated from Toronto area, right?
More people moving in means more homes are needed, and local developers say they're seeing that demand.
Yeah, we can see these things, but our goal is to create rental and housing for the community, for the existing population here in Chatham.
Beyond population, incomes are also climbing. Medium personal income in Chatham-Kent rose 5.4% in 2023, higher than the national average. And over the last 5 years, incomes have increased 20%.
I think what we're doing right is building a great community, building a great quality of life. Folks in certain professions can choose to live anywhere.
Officials say the focus now is making sure housing, infrastructure and services keep up with the momentum so the growth can continue long term.
The great thing here in Chatham-Kent is we have a lot of capacity for growth.
In Chatham-Kent, Chris Campbell, CTV News.
Tonight's Slopes Report is brought to you by Buller Mountain.
Fresh snow has helped set up some great midwinter conditions across the region. At Bowler Mountain, they picked up 1 centimeter of new snow overnight with machine groom conditions across the hill. All 15 runs are open, and it's a great choice for families and beginners. Plus, tubing is open, making it an easy local winter win. At Blue Mountain, 7 centimeters of fresh snow has created machine groom runs with powder on top. All 43 runs are open. At Horseshoe Resort, no new snow to report, but machine groom powder conditions with 26 of 28 runs open. This has been one of the best cross-country seasons in many years. At Pinery Provincial Park, 3 centimeters of new snow, excellent hard pack conditions, and 27 kilometers of track set trails. At Circle R Ranch, 2 centimeters of fresh new snow, excellent track set trails across 14 kilometers with all ski and snowshoe trails open. Enjoy the snow and happy skiing.
Finally tonight, the newest class at the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame was announced today. Lauren Stallone has more on the inductees, including a player who shaped one of the most successful eras in Blue Jays history.
First pitch to Justice. Well hit to center field. Devon White racing back to the warning track. Great pitch up against.
Today marks a major milestone for former Blue Jays player Devon White, nicknamed Devo, now officially inducted into the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame.
Welcome to the Hall of Fame, Devon.
White was born in Jamaica and played 17 seasons in the MLB, winning 7 Gold Gloves and 2 back-to-back World Series titles with the Jays.
92, of course, we won it. 93, we won it. So, you know, it's a long chain, you might say, of success and memory in Toronto.
The former center fielder took a moment to look back at the early days of his career.
The thing I remember about Edmonton is those big mosquitoes.
And how it feels to be a 2026 inductee.
Canada is my second home. The city's so diverse, and I love being there, family there, and just being in the Hall of Fame now is this is a big circle, came right together for me, and so ecstatic about it.
Devon White is back to the warning track. He leaps. He's got it. An amazing catch.
Now White still spends time with his Blue Jays family.
Currently, he works as a special assistant for player development within the Blue Jay organization.
Joining him in this year's Hall of Fame class are Stubby Clapp, Kate Posta, Bill Stoneman, Paul Runge, and Jim Bappa. Lauren Stallone, CTV News.
And that's it for us. Thanks for watching. For all of us at CTV News London, I'm Carlyle Fiset. Have a good night.